Well, a fun fight delivered. Both men really trying their hearts out. Dricus Du Plessis sits down. Israel Adesanya. Right hand follows it up. It wasn't even a good shot, but it started. Oh! Again! Right hand. Dricus takes Izzy, drops him.
Wow.
He's got Izzy flattened out. He's got the rear naked choke. He's got it in.
Wow.
Dricus Du Plessis submits Israel Adesanya in round 4. A series of punches sits him down, takes him down, jumps on his back, chokes him out, gets the tap, and then pushes him away. Wow. All right, so the dust has settled in Perth, Australia, and there is only one African champion left, and that man's name is Dricus Du Plessis, Mr. Hard Knocks himself. He went out there and had a really tough fight, tooth and nail. It was a tough fight for Dricus Du Plessis. He took a lot of damage. Listen, he won the fight. He choked out Israel Adesanya in round 4. He had some big moments, very, very exciting moments, and all-out offense when it came to the wrestling. But let me tell you, he had to show his toughness in there, because when you look at these two fighters on paper, and we know about all the drama leading into this one, we know about Izzy getting very, very emotional, crying at the press conference and stuff like that. But when it was time to fight, Israel Adesanya was a sniper. He was cool, calm, collected, and he looked like a world champion. He made, on paper, on the feet, Dricus Du Plessis kind of looked like an amateur. And I've been talking about this a lot this week, right? The similarities between Dricus Du Plessis and Dan Henderson, my old friend. Dan Henderson on paper, not a very good striker, but certainly extremely effective, and the power is the big equalizer. Israel Adesanya by far is the better striker, technically, but that doesn't matter when you put it all down together. Whoever wins and loses is the better fighter, and the better fighter tonight was Dricus Du Plessis. Listen, the fight started in round 1. Very, very close fight. Both men landing a few shots here and there. Izzy landing the cleaner strikes, looking quicker, looking more technical, crisp, precise, looking like a world-class kickboxer. Dricus on the other side looked a little awkward, a little like chunky in his movements, switching stances at times, but then blitzing, rushing forward with a punching charge and landing some big, big, heavy shots. And there was more power, there was more meat on the bone when it came to the punches of Dricus Du Plessis. Certainly got the attention of Israel more than once in round 1. But of course, the volume, the prettier strikes, the style points went to the last style bender. But it was the wrestling that was the big difference in round 2. Dricus gets a hold of him, picks him up, slams him down with authority, and Israel Adesanya bounces straight back to his feet. But the scrambling ability of Dricus Du Plessis, the way he stayed on Izzy, got a hold of him, got him in the high crotch, picked him up, sat him down, time after time after time, took the back, flattened him out, had one arm trapped. I don't know why he didn't rain down punches, because the end was right there for Dricus Du Plessis. You could almost taste victory. But Israel Adesanya, this man is no quitter, and he is not going to give up, and he's going to make you earn for it if you want to get a victory. And what did he do? He got back to his feet. At this point here, Dricus Du Plessis looked absolutely exhausted. It looked like Dricus was going to get finished, but we didn't. We saw the end of round 2. Round 3, we go out there. Israel Adesanya starts taking over, getting ahead on the numbers, pimping him, styling him. Dricus swinging at fresh air, but when he did connect, again, they did damage. But all the numbers were on the side of Israel Adesanya. And then we get to round 4. We get to round 4, and again, Dricus looks exhausted. He looks like a spent force, and he looks like Israel Adesanya was kind of in a different league when it came to the striking, the kickboxing. But this isn't kickboxing. This is mixed martial arts. And when you put it all together as masterfully as what Dricus Du Plessis does, you become a champion of the world. Because he went forward, he threw a couple of shots, Izzy kind of turned his back, he looked away, Dricus got a hold of him, boom, boom, gave him a few shots, sat him down, jumped on the back perfectly, wraps up the rear naked choke. And you got to remember, yes, it wasn't under the chin before you all start, well, Izzy's a quitter. No, this is round 4. Dricus has tremendous punch power. Dricus was on top of him, squeezing with everything that he's got. Everybody spoke about the sheer raw power of Dricus Du Plessis. He was cranking on that face, squeezing with all of his might. And of course, the man was exhausted because it was 3 minutes 38 in the 4th round. And of course, Dricus Du Plessis remains the middleweight champion of the world. Now, after the fight, of course, Dricus was elated, full of joy, full of happiness, and rightly so. Israel Adesanya is not an easy man to beat, and he showed up tonight, and he came in the best shape he's been in a very long time, and certainly extremely motivated to remind the world of how good he was, but yet Dricus still beat him. And there was talk maybe that Israel Adesanya was going to retire, and that was accentuated when he started taking off the gloves. And I was like, oh my God, look at this. The man's going to retire. And even Dricus said, look, listen, if you retire, thank you for everything that you gave the sport.
Izzy, if you decide to retire tonight, thank you.
But Israel Adesanya had a Wolf of Wall Street moment. He did the old, I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
And then he left the octagon. So there it is. Dricus Du Plessis is still the champion of the world. And we will see a rematch between Sean Strickland and Dricus Du Plessis. They will fight dick to dick, nipple to nipple. They will go at each other. It will be 5 rounds of mayhem once again. And I can't wait for it. What's next for Israel Adesanya? The last style bender. It was not the last time we'll see him in the octagon. The reality is, I don't know. Robert Whittaker, Khamzat Chimaev, those guys are going to fight. Maybe one of those. Maybe a fun fight with somebody like a Yuri Prohashka. That'd be an amazing fight. You never know. Maybe we see Izzy come up to 205. I don't think so. But right now, middleweight title aspirations, I think those talks are kind of non-existent at the moment for Israel Adesanya. What he's achieved in this sport will never be forgotten. He will go down in the history books as the second most successful middleweight of all time. He'll be a Hall of Famer. He's a long-time champion. He's a wealthy man, and he's still got a lot to give the sport of mixed martial arts. And I look forward to seeing what is next for Israel Adesanya. But tonight, well done. Dricus Du Plessis, man. Unbelievable. Just goes to show grit, heart, determination, being in shape and having a varied threat. Mixed martial arts, man. You've got to be able to do it all. If you can't get it done with your feet, you get it done with the hands. If that ain't good enough, you pick them up, you take them down, and you choke them out. So well done, Dricus Du Plessis. All right, this video is sponsored by Premier Fight Picks, owned and operated by Bardia Helmet, a top combat sports bettor and analyst with an all-time 70% strike rate, publicly tracked over 6 years. If you like to bet on fights and you're looking for help picking winners, visit Premier Fight Picks. With Du Plessis versus Adesanya coming up on a stacked card this weekend and 6 more events scheduled in the next 2 months, now is the perfect time to sign up. Bardia is offering weekly, monthly, and yearly subscriptions to get you in on the best MMA bets, quick picks, and analysis. There are currently 3 bets posted for UFC 305, including a parlay and a prop with a play on the highly anticipated main event. Sign up now to view this content and more. And lastly, follow Bardia on Instagram at Premier Fight Picks and on X at PFP Handicapping for access to free bets, analysis, and fight breakdowns. All right, moving on to the co-main event. Kai Kara France just put himself back into the title conversation at flyweight because he just smoked Steve Erceg. 4 minutes, 4 seconds of round 1. Went forward, right hand, looping left hook, sat down Erceg, flush to the mush. Right, I'm telling you, that was a clean shot, sat him down hard. Erceg got up, but Kai Kara France was just all over him. Too much, too quick, too fast, certainly too powerful. And it was a real shame for Steve Erceg because, of course, the man comes from Perth, Australia. This was his hometown. But tonight, Kai Kara France was by far the better man. And talk about power at flyweight. Unbelievable. That man's going to fight Alejandro Pantoja next. I believe that is the next fight. That is the one to make. Well done to Kai Kara France. The other person from City Kickboxing tonight, Dan Hooker, went out there, shocked me. I predicted Matej Gamrot would get the job done. The wrestling threat would probably be too much. And at times it was. And he had some big moments. In round 1, he took down Dan Hooker. Now, before he did take him down, there was obviously all fights start on the feet. Matej Gamrot did some damage on the feet, as did Dan Hooker. And by the end of it, both of them were kind of a mess. Matej Gamrot did get him down, got on top, took the back, all the rest of it, had some big moments. But as the fight progressed, Dan Hooker, every single time he got to his feet, he was dangerous and he was stalking Matej Gamrot. Matej Gamrot spent too much time on the knees. He was trying to finish the single legs by tree-topping, grabbing one leg, bringing it up high, but he was struggling to finish it. That is incredible balance, athleticism, and just willpower on the side of Dan Hooker. And Dan Hooker, once again, now is back in the win column. This man is somebody you cannot underestimate. Remember, he beat Jalen Turner with one arm. It was a close fight against Mateusz Gamrot. But Mateusz Gamrot has given some of the best fighters in the lightweight division very, very close fights. Look at that fight he had with Arman Tsarukyan, one of the best displays of mixed martial arts wrestling you're likely to ever see. 5 rounds of non-stop action. So, Steve Herseg, commiserations, one of the nicest guys in the sport. But Kai Kara France sticking the tongue out all over the place. Giving it all that shit. Man, what a knockout. Congratulations, brother. Before that, this was a kind of a crazy one. Tai Tuivasa, Jairzinho Rozenstruik. We know this one was going to go down on the feet. 2 guys that like to bang it all out. We all love Tai Tuivasa. Coming into this one, though, sadly, losing 4 in a row, okay? 4 finishes in a row and going up against Biggie Boy, a great kickboxer coming from Suriname. 76 professional kickboxing fights. I think it's something like 64 knockouts. The man's good on the feet. He's powerful. He's quick. He's slick. And that was the difference tonight. On the feet, listen, Tai Tuivasa is a brawler. We love the energy that he brings. But Jairzinho was just too precise. He was too quick. He was too technical. Ultimately, he was too skillful. Now, we like Tai Tuivasa because the man is a warrior. He walks people down. He'll swing, and he never gives up in a fight. And I'm telling you, there was a couple of times he could have given up, right? He took some heavy shots. He took some big, big knees to the face. But he still pressed forward, but alas, it wasn't enough. It was a clear victory for Jairzinho Rozenstruik. However, when it went to the judges' scorecards, one of the judges scored it 30-27 for Tai Tuivasa. The other 2 gave it 30-27 to Jairzinho Rozenstruik. But that was the obvious answer. I love Tai Tuivasa, but you've just got to call it like it is, right? Jairzinho won that fight, plain and simple. Everybody knew that. That was one of the craziest decisions we have ever seen. Unfortunately, the powers that be at the UFC, they also agreed. Because after that fight, he was removed and he was relieved from his judging obligations for the rest of the evening. I'm telling you, something's got to be done about these judges. What the hell is going on? Anybody watching that fight, anybody that's untrained, a child watching that could look at that and say, yeah, Biggie Boy won. But this guy's supposed to be a professional judge, getting paid, where people's careers are on the line, years and years of hard work, massive amounts of money when it comes to win bonuses, potential future title shots, rankings, and all the lifetime of sacrifice to get to these positions is all on the line. And this guy gives it 30-27 to a man that clearly lost. Again, I take no pleasure in saying this. I'm a big fan of Tai Tuivasa, and congratulations for just having the career that you have and for the warrior spirit that you have. But tonight wasn't his night, and he knows that, and he'll be back, and I look forward to it. But this judge, man, get the hell out of here. Unbelievable. And then, of course, speaking of unbelievable things, Carlos Prates went out there, stopped Li Jingliang, the Leech, in round 2. What a left hand. He was far too quick. He was far too slick. He was long. He was accurate. And he was powerful. The left hand that he sat him down with knocked him out clean. Li Jingliang was down. He was down there for quite some time, unconscious, not moving much. Li Jingliang is a big guy. He's a strong guy. He's got big power. And he's a top 20 welterweight on the planet. Carlos Prates now is 3-0 in the UFC. 4, if you include the contender fight. Keep an eye on that name. Carlos Prates, I'm expecting big, big things from this guy. Still, tonight belongs to Dricus Du Plessis. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. All those people that say, this guy's not good to watch. Tonight, he kind of looked against Israel Adesanya, who's one of the most polished fighters we've ever seen. He did look a little sloppy. He did look a little not as technical. But it doesn't matter because he was truly effective. And there's more than one way to skin a cat. And tonight, he busted him up on the feet. He dragged him down to the canvas and he choked him out in round 4. Congratulations to Dricus Du Plessis. Unbelievable performance. It just goes to show what determination and hard work can really do for you. Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe and ring the bell. I did a live earlier on tonight. A lot of people tuned in for that one as well. So thank you all that came along and watched the entire Bisping family watching UFC 305. That's it. Ring the bell. Subscribe. Don't ring the bell. Nobody rings the bell. I don't even know why I say that. You just say it. Still, tonight, Dricus, congratulations. And you guys, take care.